welcome to APFilms' first interview. My name is GOA Mo. Accompanying me here is Jamie Sharps from Sharps Production on YouTube. And I'm here to ask you a couple questions about how you got into the film industry.
Oh, totally. God, how did I get into it? I remember like way back in the day when I graduated high school, way back in 1992. My parents got me a VHS-C JVC camcorder, and I was thrilled. And we got together with my buddies and they came over and we decided to make a Indiana Jones parody. So we called it the Josh Jones Spectacular. And my buddy, his name was Josh. He played Josh Jones. And basically we're just, doing a lot of Indiana Jones action scenes all, in my parents' backyard. Mm-hmm. And that's what basically started the whole thing. I started to get serious though after, I basically screwed off for a number of years chasing women and whatnot and mm-hmm. being a butthead. And then I was like, I'm not getting any younger. I got to continue with my film dream, So I went to New York Film Academy, and it was like a December. It was like cheaper to go in December. So it was like I did the 2-month course. And that's what I needed was the like shot in the ass, mm-hmm. to get to, finally start like pursuing the dream, I know a friend of mine, he went to NYU, which was right next door to New York Film Academy, but I didn't have, the money to do that. So I just went to New York Film Academy, It was really cheap, but I met other fellow filmmakers there, and we shot 3 black and white films, short films, and but we got to shoot with 16 millimeter cameras, which was the best part of the whole thing. And the Aeroflex 16s. And the year after that, they started using digital cameras. Yep. So I feel really lucky. I got to develop the film, and you had to, you got to put the film in a dark room, mm-hmm. or else, you'll ruin the film. There was no audio. We had to do the audio. You had to record it with a, cassette tape, basically. Mm-hmm. Yep. Later, if you had any kind of dialogue. So a lot of people were just shooting like, Charlie Chaplin kind of stuff. Yeah. But it made it like very challenging. And oh my God, so getting to edit your movie on a computer was totally blew my mind. And that was awesome. So as soon as I got done, living in New York City on Union Square and having the time of my life, I got back home and started like writing down my first movie, which was called Half Dead. And that was like 2004 when I shot that. Mm-hmm. And oh God, we got a bunch of friends together and shot that at a local farmhouse. And that was a friggin' total blast shooting that, and that helped out big time. So I think if I didn't go to New York Film Academy, I wouldn't have had structure. Yeah. Yeah. So that really helped out a lot. The teachers were really smart about like writing your script down and then getting like a good performance out of your actors and DIY. Total blast. And of course, ask some more questions because then we can jump on to mm-hmm. like the next level up was when I hooked up with Ernest Thompson.
Mm-hmm. Who is that?
Now Ernest Thompson, he is a filmmaker and a writer, and he got famous writing on Golden Pond.
Oh, that was actually filmed locally here.
Yes, he shot that. I think it was shot back in like 1980. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he wrote the script, and he ended up winning. He won the best adapted screenplay. That's what he won the Oscar for. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and before that, he was an actor in soap operas, and he was sick of not getting paid any money. He said, "Screw this! I'm going to start writing my own stuff." Yeah. And he was writing. It was a play. Mm-hmm. And he was showcasing his play somewhere, and I think it was New York. I'm not going to ask her. He might kill me for that, not knowing that. And Jane Fonda walked in and watched the play, and she loved it. She said, "This is the perfect play to do with my dad, Henry Fonda, before he dies of cancer." Mm-hmm. And then boom, the rest is history. And she bought the rights, the movie rights, and they shot the film. Yeah, and it was a huge hit. So anyways, later on down the road, when I was filming my movies and I'd have premieres, at local places and whatnot, Ernest caught wind of it because he was looking for a cameraman and an editor to shoot his independent movies that he wanted to shoot. And then we had a great, repertoire together, and we shot a bunch of independent films with him. Yeah, so of course that helped out big time working with Ernest, because he shot all kinds of, other films and worked with Hollywood actors and so many great stories. So once I was doing that with him, it was like, boom, off to the races. I want to shoot, more independent stuff with actors. And another good thing is all the really good actors I met through him. So I, once he was done, if they weren't busy, I would steal his actors. And then it just goes on and on like that, and crazy. Then I'm, now I met, Hannah Cabell and her husband Ryan King, and they're working in Hollywood right now, and she's got all kinds of roles on. He wrote The Tutor, starring Noah Schnapp, the kid that was in Stranger Things. So that was a good movie, and that was fun to watch. And Ryan wrote it, which was, I thought, so awesome. And Hannah stars in all kinds of stuff. Blue Bloods. I got her in a bunch of my stuff, and she's always busy, like on TV shows. Mr. Robot. Yeah.
So the next question being forward, is your filmmaking your primary job? And if it's not, how do you balance between your primary work ethic and film?
So it is not. And in order to do both, drugs. No, I'm just kidding. Absolutely not. No, basically the family business, Sharp's Lumber. That's that's always been my cash cow. And so it's been a juggling act, let me tell you. And it's been harder and harder as the older I get, now that I'm past the age of 50. It's like I got to put the glasses on and look at the monitor, and I'm, what I mean? Everything's a little bit harder the older you get, everything's a little tougher. But I'm still, just trying to do it. But so God, it's tough, because it's just basically my dad and myself and my brother-in-law Sean trying to run a sawmill and sell custom lumber to people, and at the same time trying to shoot these whack-ball movies. And it's tough. It's been really, really tough. And I've been able to do it no problem in the past, and have the premieres, The Flying Monkey, and get them out there on different platforms. So my last movie, Dark Mountain, that's out there all over the place. But before that, I used to do it myself on Amazon Prime, and just set it all up. And so I had The Beaumonts was out there, and before that, I was working with MVD. That's the name. Yeah, and that. What did I do with that? That Zombie Boy and the Bigfoot Diaries. I set that up on MVD, and don't ask me what that is, because I forgot. But if you look at MVD, they're on the internet and all that stuff. And but usually, I mean, having the premiere at the Flying Monkey is the most fun, because it's right there. It's a huge theater. Seats like almost 400 people. Oh wow! Always have a blast.
I've never actually been into the Flying Monkey Theater. And for real quick, for those who don't know, could you give a brief explanation as to what the Flying Monkey is?
So it's the Flying Monkey Movie House and Performance Center is the actual real name. Yep. And Alex Ray owns it. It used to be the Plymouth Theater, but they got rid of that, and now they have musical acts and independent guys like me going in and plays. You name it, they do it all there. But then the musical acts are like, I think, like the cash cow for the place. Yeah. They'll have all kinds of different musical. God, who was there last time? Jimmy Vaughn was there. Yeah, that was a great show, and all kinds of different, people. Nice. Yeah.
It's actually funny you were talking about the Beaumonts.
Yes.
At my place of work, they have a poster of the Beaumonts on the editing door.
What? No way, that's great. Yeah. What? The Beaumonts, really?
Yep.
That's fantastic.
The girl with the vampire teeth and the red eyes.
Sherry. Yeah, Sherry Lee. She's a fantastic actress, and she's still doing it. She lives in Franklin. And we've had so much fun with her over the years, shooting with crazy movies with her. Yeah. And she had a role in, the one with Adam Sandler, Grown Ups. Yeah, the first one. Okay. She was in a scene with another actress.
And you touched on a lot of the questions that I had. You touched up on a little bit, but I'd like to go into more detail towards those topics.
Sure.
So what are some marketing tips you have found most effective in getting your content out there in the community?
God, see, that's the hardest one that I've over the years have, because it's very hard to get a fan base going. And I'm noticing more and more YouTube. You know, everyone's going to YouTube and trying to get subscribers going, and how many hours they watch. You know, if you get over 1,000 subscribers, it's really good. You start getting monetary gains and stuff like that, and get your name out there. That's huge. And or you could go the course of MVD, but I never made any money with them. And of course, I know my movies were low budget. They were, that I didn't have any star power in them until now. Hopefully with Hannah, it's going to be different. But there was this company that tried to rip me off. Like this guy. Actually, no, he did rip me off. What the hell was the name of those assholes? Circus Road. Total parasite. It's a great story. When I didn't know what to do, this is like when YouTube just came out. You know what I mean? And calling certain people, and this guy said Circus Road Films that give us $1,500 or whatever the hell it was that I gave him. It might have been like $5,000 actually. And so anyways, we're gonna we'll promote your movie. We're gonna get it out there. We live we're in LA, and we're gonna get into a film festival for you. They didn't do shit. They never did a fucking thing. And I was like, what the fuck, guys? Yeah, it was pathetic. And so that way, it's just like you had to learn the hard way. Yeah, there's people out there that are gonna just grab your money, and they don't give a shit about your movie. Yeah. So basically, you got to do it yourself, DIY. It's the only way to continue to stay thick-skinned and keep going out there. That's the great thing about now is that there's less parasites out there stealing your money. You can
there's
just
a lot more safety features built in to prevent that from happening to people.
Exactly. Like also Vimeo. That was I set up on there, and I did pretty good for a couple of years on there. Until they went ass backwards. They suck now. But I don't know what the hell happened there. They sold out. But they were great for the independent filmmaker for a few years, because it was just all of a sudden everything dropped off and nobody was on Vimeo anymore. And TikTok took over, and I'm like, my wife's like, you should get on TikTok, and I'm like, I don't. It's just dancing videos. It's like I can't do it. I just can't go there. So but one platform gets more popular than another one. So you never know which one's going to be better than the next. And I'm hopefully in the future there'll be more and more besides just YouTube. There should be two more big boys like those guys instead of just them.
So what mindsets were crucial for you to not lose motivation during low productivity days or weeks?
Just stay positive. Alcohol. Luckily surround yourself with positive people too, and that want to get the film done with you, and you'll persevere. Basically, if I didn't have back in the day Al and Sherry and Matt and James Perry, he played Count Beaumont. He was great. His energy level was skyrocket, through the roof. And, so I know, because you'd have your really bad days and what am I doing? Are people going to like this? This is stupid. Yeah, you just got to keep going for it and say, yeah, fuck it, I don't care. I'm just going to shoot this anyways and get my creativity out there. And, if it sucks or not, you just got to... see what happens and just cross your fingers and hope that some people are going to like it. And then you would ask a question about inspiration. I was thinking, well, way back when you're before with the high school and the camcorder and all that stuff. When I was a little kid, actually the first time I thought about wanting to be a filmmaker was when I watched Raiders of the Lost Ark. I thought it was like the greatest, movie of my life. It was so amazing, and Spielberg is so awesome. And I watched that movie just in total awe, and it was like, wow, now that would be fun to try to do that on your own. Whoa, and then The Road Warrior, that was another huge one that I really got a kick out of. And of course, the spaghetti westerns were very influential on me, with the duels at the end of the movies. Always like the duels, which you'll see in Zombie Boy. There's a duel at the end of that one. And my formulas are very similar to a lot of movies that I watched in the past. Like adventure, and then there's a confrontation with, at the end, that's why I like duels. The big duel at the end, and usually my good guys always win in the end, and they persevere against the bad guys. And so after that was like huge. And then, of course, like Evil Dead 2 was another big influence on me. Sam Raimi's stuff, he's fantastic. Because of the crazy camera stuff that he would do. It was like, holy crap, how did he pull that off? Some of his insane special effects that he was able to pull off. Another inspiration, too, was probably Robert Rodriguez, because he's a super awesome guerrilla filmmaker. And, I watched, what was it, El Mariachi. And I went out of my way to rent his movie, because he was able to get it into I think Sundance Film Festival, and then like he boom, his career took off. So it was always like, ooh, what do I got to, you know what I mean? Like always writing things down, like what can I do to try to be like him, to try to make it like he did, And film cameras. That was another problem, was that you could never buy a film camera because they were so frigging expensive. So luckily digital came along and changed all that. And Panasonic back in the day, I think it was like early 2000s. It was, I want to say it was like 2002 when Panasonic came out with this really nice cinema camera that was better than your average, Sony Handycam. You know what I mean? Like the camera that my parents got me. I couldn't shoot a movie with that. I mean, we did the Josh Jones one. But if I wanted to get serious after I got back from New York Film Academy, I had to get a real nice camera. So I ended up getting, it was like perfect timing. I got out of New York Film Academy, and Panasonic came out with their, I forgot, the HVX 200 or whatever the name of it was. But it was so much better. Everything looked a lot better. It wasn't 4K, but it was like, I think 1080 maybe. And it was a game changer. So for the independent guys like me. So, I saved up my money and bought the camera. So then I was, that helped out big time. And thanks to Rob Rodriguez, I think it was, he shot on, I think, 60 millimeter film. But he was I was like, well, maybe if I do this and that, and get the friends together, I get this camera and I can get out and shoot stuff and make it that way,
Going backwards, back to the Flying Monkey. How do you get permission to premiere your films there?
Well, you go there and you talk to the GC, and great guy. And there's a new guy now that's kind of running the show, and I haven't talked with him yet. But you basically just go there and you tell them about yourself and say, hey, you want to do it? Have you ever thought about doing an independent movie? And I kind of got lucky because Alex Ray knows me, and he kind of, I think, might have got me in. But I think a lot of other younger guys that are around here that if they're shooting movies might have a really good chance of showcasing their movie there, because that's what they want to do. They want to help out local people with their creativity and their art. So they're willing to try anything over there. They're fantastic.
Nice.
And it really isn't that much cost to rent. You could just rent. Basically, you're renting the place out for like a night.
Right.
And I forgot how much they charged me, but it wasn't that bad. Yeah, and you can pick your day, and it's like, okay, well, this band is coming on that day, so we can't give you that day. We're gonna give you Tuesday, that kind of stuff. Yeah, and it's like, oh,
a lot of negotiation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and it's just like, what do you want to charge for ticket prices? And usually, I always keep it way low so that people, you don't want to charge your friends a lot of money.
That was actually my next question. That's one of my most important.
Yeah.
When it comes to airing your films at Flying Monkey.
Yep.
When it comes to revenue, do you get like a portion of ticket revenue, or how does that work?
Yes, what was it? I think if you buy the tickets in advance, it's $12. But if you walk-ins, they charge $15 at the door, and they split it 50-50.
Okay.
Yeah, so you know what I mean, and so that.
I thought it was like going to be like a 10%, like they take 90, you take 10.
No, it's just 50-50, I think.
Oh, wow.
I'm pretty sure it was 50. Wait a minute. Oh God, hang on here. Maybe it was. Maybe they did take more. It might have been 60-40 or something like that. Right. Oh God. Oh, maybe they were like just being nice to me, and they went 50-50 on the first movie, but then on the next one they did. I think it was 60.
Changed a little bit more every time.
Yeah. They did really well. The funny thing is, when they first started out, it was like, yeah, we'll give this kid a chance. Yeah, you can show your movie here, and it was like Tucker's Crossing, this movie that I shot way back in 2007, but I ended up winning Best Horror Film at the Snob Film Festival in Concord, and that was the somewhat north of Boston film festival. So they called it Snob. Okay. And that went on for many, many years, and that was fantastic. That was held at the Red River Theater, and I actually won a little plaque that said Best Horror Movie, and Tucker's Crossing. That was one of that was my second movie I ever shot. And once I won that award, it all went into your head. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm gonna be Spielberg now. Yes, I'm gonna get the deal. I was like, thank you guys. That was really fun. But so then I shot. I was working with Ernest. We just got done shooting one of his movies, and so I was really eager to get one of mine out. So I took a lot of the actors that were in his movie and I put them in mine. And I said, hey, I got another movie I want to watch. And the GC was like, oh, another one of your little movies? Sure, we can do that. Maybe 50 people will show up. We ended up selling out.
Oh, yeah.
Zombie Boy sold the place out. 330 people showed up.
Oh,
wow. Actually, if another like 15 showed up, it would have been totally sold out.
Right.
But it was funny to see him he was giving out popcorn and drinks, and he goes, and I was like, hey, hi, and he goes, I didn't know this many people were going to show up. I would have had more employees. What the fuck? Yeah, he was kind of mad at me because I was like, hey, I didn't know this many people were going to show up either. I thought it was going to be like, maybe 100.
It's very gratifying to be like,
that was an awesome feeling.
You, and then it's like, hey.
Yeah, and then of course he was all ready for when the Beaumonts came out, and that was nuts. That was like totally. We had to like send people. We didn't have enough seats.
Right.
But he was ready. He hired like twice as many employees for the Beaumonts, and it was like the greatest feeling to see people way up high. I am the greatest. I am the greatest man in the world. I'm the king of the world. You know what I mean? And so that was an awesome premiere, and everybody laughing, and people were like throwing popcorn, like Rocky Horror Picture Show, and that was awesome. That was one of the greatest nights of my life. I got a funny little stunt story for you too. Sure. Actually, like you can push your actors real hard, but sometimes don't push them too hard. But my buddy Matthew Cheney, who is now a professor at PSU, he was Zombie Boy. He was. I wanted him to jump off this rafter in a barn onto this villain for this scene. And I was like, yeah, you just got, it's not that high up. It's, it was like 6 feet up. And he was like, yeah, you jump onto this guy's back and you scream, rawr. And he looked at the rafter at me. He's a very intelligent man. He goes, I am not doing that. It's like, I'm sorry. And I was like, okay, we're going to reshoot the scene. So he just, he reshot the whole scene of him like creeping up behind the guy instead of punching him, instead of jumping off a rafter onto his back. Yeah. So just don't push your actors too hard, especially if it's free acting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of the core machinima. Like there are people in machinima who are like the big wigs, like Digital Virus Production, where they have like 20,000 subscribers and they make feature length 1 hour Halo film content, Dawn of Titans.
Damn.
That was like they had people who were in the military come and voice like the militaristic lines of the characters or sound design and all that, and stuff like that. And then it was mostly 99% of machinima is gamers.
Oh my
god!
Amazing.
Whenever I do shoot a scene, I always start with like, thank you for attending. You could have been somewhere else, but you chose to spend your time here. I'll take up as little time of your time as I can.
Wow.
So that's what I always try to do going in, because I'm not paying these guys to be here. They're here voluntarily.
Oh yeah.
So I always try to be humble about that. And then back to inspirations, I was talking for machinima specifically. The machinima that got me into like wanting to do Halo in general was a machinima called Rise of the Spartans by Black Plasma Studios. It was a 8-part. Back when I started first getting the motivation to doing it, they only made part 3, and it was an 8-part series, and it was a director's cut. Each episode each part was like an hour long, and he made 8 parts. So he made it over like a span of 5 years or something like that.
Oh wow. Jeez, that's a long time.
Mm-hmm. So it was being able to take something that was in my head. Granted, it's not as like I'm not like superficial into it, like into editing. Like I can't animate or stuff like that. So I'm limited to what characters are able to do or avatars are able to do in game. I'm limited to those aspects.
Oh, right.
But there's a lot that you can do, especially in like Halo Reach, where you have Forge, where Forge is where you can take like a blank canvas world.
Oh,
and then you can
from scratch.
And then you can build stuff in it. Like you can build fortresses, you can make forests.
Oh, your own world.
Yeah. Whoa. You're still limited to the engine of that game.
It's amazing.
But it's not like if I were to try and do the Package Act 1, where like the humans and aliens were fighting, I would never be able to do that, because I'd have to get like little laser effects to pew out of the guns, or make people dress up as 8-foot tall aliens. So it would just be impossible for somebody like me to do.
Yeah.
So having to do that through machinima it's a real blessing. And then in terms of like what I do for editing, everything I do is done on the phone. Everything. All editing. Obviously like getting the game clips, that's all done, like getting people together to go into a game and shoot in, that's all stuff in the video game. So what I'll do is I'll get people dressed up how like the character is supposed to look. Yeah. And then I'll have everybody spawn into the world. We all get together, and it's like, hey, A, B, and D, you're gonna be over here walking around being, just random background characters. I'm gonna have main character A and C over here. You guys are gonna bob your heads up and down, because what I did in the package is I just had them talk and their head was still. In a lot of parodies like Red vs. Blue, they'll bob their characters' heads up and down and resemble talking. And I'm doing that for a Clan Raid parody, but it is exhausting. Like, you have to change your character's sensitivity, the up and down sensitivity. And if you don't have it maxed out, it's very rigid. And I'm probably going to have to go in and reshoot a couple of the scenes where the guys' heads are just barely moving. Man. Yeah. Every time I go in to a setting, I keep telling the guys, this is the only fucking machinima where I'm ever going to have people bobbing their heads. Those who do bob their heads, good for you. I don't have that patience. I'm never doing this again. But what we'll do is once I do a couple of takes, I try to do the Clint Eastwood method, where it's a one and done.
Yeah, that's the best way. Mm-hmm. One and done.
And I've been able to do that a couple of times, but when it comes to machinima and acting, nobody's a professional actor. It's all just, it's mostly kids in video games with their kid avatars.
Oh, I gotcha.
And me being a director, I have no education in film. I have no education in directing. I have no education in theater. I have no experience
you don't even
in
need
theater.
It. Wow.
And I'm doing all this on the go, but I've watched like other content creators, machinima contents for like how they do things and how it all comes together. And there's another YouTuber out there called Nightmare Films, but it's like like medieval night, so Nightmare Films. He made a series called The Running Dead. It was a parody off of The Walking Dead. And,
The Running Dead, good one. Oh, wow.
And so I was able, they were kind enough to make like behind the scenes where they would have all the actors come together and they'd show all the stupid bloopers where people wouldn't listen and they'd beat the shit out of the other actors, or they'd take a tank and steamroll people and spawn for the fun of it and stuff like that. Or like what to's and what not to do, or tutorials on like your camera angles or what equipment that you need for your because some people need a piece of hardware called a game capture card, which I have no clue what it is because I have a laptop, but I don't have editing. All the editing is done on the phone. So what I'll do is after I shoot a scene and I like how it ends, the game ends, and then I go into a game mode called theater, in which it's a one-person thing at a time. I can show you if we're not pressed on time after we're done with all this. What theater is that it captures the entire length of the last game that you were in, so that you're able to take free-form shots from all 360 angles.
Whoa.
And I'll take like 10 clips of one guy moving around, so I can get I'll only use one of those 10 clips, but it's there for reference so I can get the one that I actually want. And then once I upload those game clips to the Xbox network, I download them as videos onto my phone and then upload those clips onto the editing.
Oh, I see.
So,
man,
it's a lot of steps.
That's a lot of it's a lot of dicking around.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's crazy fun, but it's also crazy annoying because I've discovered with Splice, what I'm having to do is I'll have like 450 videos on my phone, and it'll take up like 100 gigabytes worth of space.
Yeah, easy.
So what I'm having to do is I'll make a big compilation scene where I'll just have my phone on screen record so that it can record the screen, and then I can delete those 450 little images so I can just have the big one. Then I'll upload the big one onto the time stream so that I can clear up storage. But if you don't do that and you accidentally delete a video from your phone storage, it will delete the media clip on Splice. So you have to keep those clips on your phone until you export. That's something I didn't learn until I learned it the hard way. So it's definitely a process, but it's one that I'm really thankful for.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. I mean, it works. Mm-hmm. It's totally working. So like, keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
And then to wrap this up, I would like to do a little bit of time travel in when George first introduced me to being like background setup, where like you had me in your garden with the smoke bombs, and then I fucked up and like blew myself up. Like I was totally fine with that, and then he was like, "Hey, he needs actors. You should go into acting." And like, I'm not comfortable with acting. I've always been told all my life, like, I have a great narration voice, or I've got a great radio voice. And it's like, you know what? I'll try radio. And the one time I tried radio, I froze on air. So I did some work over at
Holy shit.
WPNH radio over in Franklin.
Oh, no way. Okay.
And they wanted me to read the weather forecast, but I'm colorblind, or I'm color deficient.
Oh.
So like how you have like the yellow, red, blue, dark blue.
Yes.
If you've got like red and maroon together, I'll only see red.
That's it. Wow.
So
this is just red.
Really,
yeah.
Or it's pink.
Yeah, right.
Like I know what it is, but
oh geez, so you froze on?
Yeah, because I couldn't read the weather because they're like you have to differentiate between each of these little streams, and it's like I can't do it.
Oh my god.
And then it's definitely been a journey, but towards that, back to what I was talking about before, it was through his motivation to get me going into your project. And so I would like to thank you from me to you personally because of my interaction with you in that film.
You're branching out.
I've had Machinima storyline ideas saved on my phone for like 15 years, but I only really started Machinima this year. Wow. And the motivation to do that came from working with Sharp's Film. So I'd like to thank you for
thank you. That's great. Yeah, and God, I do what I can do to get people motivated and excited about creating art and doing their own thing out there. So I'm glad to hear that. That's great. That's good to hear. Yeah. This is awesome, man. Dude, this is great. It was a perfect interview. Yeah. Well, oh my God.
On behalf of APFilms, I'd like to thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thank you.